We're gonna take a deep dive into the world of Legos. I paid 90 bucks for 3 bins full of Legos at a garage sale. I was pretty sure that I got a great deal, but I'm not sure the extent of it. I've never really taken a deep dive into the world of reselling Legos. And we're gonna learn as much as we possibly can and bring you guys along for the full journey and see how good or bad of a purchase it was. But I'm pretty sure it was actually probably great. Right here's a bag full of minifigures, and there's so much more mixed in. This is where the money is, to my knowledge. Let's get going. Okay, so I just dumped out the first bin. Now this one was only about half full, but it was interesting because it had a lot of built sets over here. Now if you know what any of these are, please help me out. We might find out in this process. I've bought Legos before, but I've never really taken a deep dive. I usually just kind of make the quick sale and move on. This is a time where I think it's a special lot to take the time to piece it out. That wing just fell off, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going. Now I'm looking for minifigures here. So like just kind of going through, finding minifigures or maybe pieces that might go to minifigures. That might be like a TMNT thing, the pizza. But you got heads that are separate, so like all these are gonna have to be combined back with the original figure. It's gonna take some definite research. But this one, I looked up. This is Yondu from Guardians. This figure alone goes for like 40 bucks. Which blows my mind. So finding something like this shows that we could have a lot of really special pieces in here. They look to be from maybe the early 2010s, maybe even back before that. So that part is promising to me. I think we have Star Wars mixed in over here. This Hulk figure goes for like 20, 24 bucks by itself. A lot of these big ones, I don't know who this guy is quite yet. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to separate minifigures. We'll see how many we got, maybe what they're worth, and try to get some sales under our belt, maybe some trades for video games. We'll see. We're just going to take a deep dive and learn a bunch together. So come with me as we learn. I'm sure there's going to be Lego experts watching, so forgive me and help me out in the comments. Be kind. I appreciate it. As I'm looking here, we've got like this, you know, is that Tony Stark, Iron Man? I'm not sure which keyword would bring it up, but we have an Iron Man helmet here. I don't know if that's related. We've got a TMNT head here. We've got Sandy Cheeks. So we got a lot of figures to try and find. I mean, could that be? I don't know. And then like Yondu, for example, it was like 30 to 40 bucks without his weapon. But if we find his weapon, it's going to add about 20 bucks to the value. And that's just a tiny little thing. I'm hoping it's in here, but I'm really going to target like, okay, here's a weapon. That might even not be related because it looks like that's a Excalibur sword or something. I'm still going to set that over there in case it does go with a minifigure. Like this is another sword. And as complete as we can get them, obviously that's going to help their value. So I'm just going to try to start by getting everything in one place, and maybe we can complete them as we go. Matt just looked this one up. Vision is 33 bucks. That's sold? God, what in the world? This is insane. I mean, and then I just pointed out that we found this one, and this has the same exact head, so apparently there might be duplicates mixed in. What do we got there?
It's Mario.
Mario, right there. Okay, I'm curious about this one, though. You want to look this up? Yep. Got both weapons. Good old Chris Pratt right here. We've had good luck with our first Guardians. Now, is this? This is from Halo? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm curious what this one will be. And you got this. This is cool. Is this like Ninjago maybe?
Like 18.
18 with his mask? Yep. What color is his mask?
Gray and has red eyes.
Gray and has red eyes. We got to find that mask. 18 bucks if we find it. Now, another thing I know to look for in my very brief Lego experience is all the base plates. These are just good for people that are into building Legos. So I'm definitely going to separate those as well. Some of these, I don't know, like, is this even Lego? This is not. This is Mega Bloks. Get this out of here. We're going to have Mega Bloks mixed in. That's not fun. Is this? That is the good thing about every Lego piece is that they say Lego, even on the minifigures. So there's a lot of fake minifigures out there, which I have bought before mistakenly. If you take the head off, look at the top of the neck, it says Lego. I'm not sure if that's coming through on camera. It's looking good? Okay. So that's a key way to know that they're authentic and original. Every single Lego piece ever printed has that Lego on it. I don't know if this is a Lego head right here. It doesn't really look like it. No, I'm thinking no. I'm going to set that over there. But we did find this one. This is going to be a journey. We're going to separate a bunch more and bring you guys some of the highlights as we go. The first bin of Legos, we've officially gone through it. Now, that was just this bin right here. The blue bin was about half full. It had these semi-built sets and apparently a ton of minifigures. So here's the separated minifigures. Now, everything over here are the figures that at least have a head, legs, arms, body. They might be missing accessories, but I wanted to point out, and we haven't looked this one up yet, but Spider-Man is right there. Let's see, we mentioned, we looked this up yesterday. It's like 40 bucks. If we find his weapon, 60. It is the most valuable Guardians of the Galaxy minifigure. Look, we found an R2-D2. There's a Batman. Found, oh, yes, I forgot we found
There's
Vision.
also Man Bat.
Is that actually Man Bat?
Yeah.
Let's go. There's another Guardians. Yeah, we might have like the whole set of Guardians figures by the end of this. And then these are all minifigure heads. These are going to be bodies with no legs. Then we've got legs. And then no heads, but bodies. Look how many figures. There's probably,
Whoa, there's like
what,
Ninjago stuff in
over
there?
100 figures? Yeah, there's more Star Wars. I'm really excited about the potential for Star Wars. These are all helmets. And then it looks like up here we still have weapons and various things. Is that what this is too? Yeah, kind of just
Those are, like,
accessories.
neck accessories, and then I've got like
Oh, you've got a bag of weapons.
a bag of weapons.
Dang. So yeah, Matt did the second half of this organizing.
We still have all
What
of
is
these
this?
as well.
Oh yeah, this so that was from this bin here. It's crazy because the next two bins are totally like full like this. That one had the bag full of figures. I guess that one's not completely full, but it has a lot of sealed baggies and stuff. I'm really intrigued if there will be more minifigures in this one, because there was a bag on top with minifigures, but if there's more buried in here, we truly have quite the honey hole.
Oh yeah.
You seeing some?
Just saw a body that just like shut down.
Nice. There we go. Yeah, that's a great sign.
Well, what is that?
That feels like the
An
wrong head.
amalgamation.
Yeah, it feels like it was zombied together. That's going to be the hard part, is figuring out what goes with what, but it's going to be a lot of fun to go through. It's going to be worth our time. We mentioned these in a video of going through them, and had a few viewers say that they think we have over $1,000 worth of Legos here that we got for 90 bucks. That would blow my mind, but if it comes true, it would be really awesome. So we're going to play with some Legos, and we'll get back to you guys on the updates. We're going to organize figures by value, 10 to 30, 30 to 50, and 50 and above, so that you can see what we actually got here. I'm going to flip this camera around in just a second and show you all of the minifigures from just this last bin. It's pretty crazy. At this point, I'm going to need to talk to as many experts as I can. I've had a lot of viewers commenting and leaving tips and things to look for. The goal is to find some key figures, specific ones that are really good, but also some rules of thumb that you guys can find and look for when you're out and about. So I'm gonna put something up in my reselling Discord. You can find it at CATRPcrew.com if you're ever interested, but I know we have some Lego experts in there, and I'm gonna compile some information and come back at the end of the video with some key tips and things to look for when you buy a big Lego collection like this one. So just to show, this is what remains. This is the stuff that's gonna take so long to go through just to make sure we get all the weapons and stuff. I'm gonna stop right there for now. We'll get through it by the end. I did find 93 cents, so we made almost $1 back, so that's pretty remarkable. Found 2 house keys, you know. All of this stuff, kind of unrelated, Mega Blocks, you know, we try to separate all that out. But right here is just the minifigures from this last bin, which is kind of wild how many there were mixed in, you know, and there were a ton of like built sets like this towards the top of that bin. A lot of the pieces over there. There's 114 figures just in this last box. I'm gonna say there's probably over 300, maybe pushing 400, because there was definitely more figures in at least one of the other boxes. It's just hard to know, and gosh, there's probably like 100 just in this bag that are missing heads and stuff. So I'm guessing there's over 300 figures total. Man, even if you average it out to like $3 a figure, I think that's, you know, that's like $1,000 in just figures. Crazy amount of Legos to get for $90. But man, I spent like 3 hours on it today. Matt's probably spent 10 hours on it otherwise. So we got like 13 total hours so far, and there's still going to be a lot more, especially if we piece them out and go through and find which ones are valuable. So it's a lot of time, and the question we're trying to answer is it worth it? And I do want to emphasize here that most of the time, I don't think it would be worth it. I don't think it would even be worth attempting, because most collections, you're not going to find 100 minifigures per bin. You might find 10, 20. In that case, I say sell it off to somebody who does Legos full time, make your quick money, and move on. This case, there's so many minifigures, and I could tell that it was something pretty special when I bought it. I kind of felt that it had the higher odds of being worth taking the time to dive in and be worth it. If we find a lot of $40, $50 minifigures in here, then yeah, the time's gonna pay for itself pretty darn quickly. Those are my thoughts. We're gonna get a hold of some experts, see if I can find some quick help and some quick tips. Well, otherwise, Google, what is it called? Google Lens. Yeah, Google Lens. I've been using that a lot more lately, and this is gonna come in clutch for these minifigures. I just know it. If you're not using Google Lens, on iPhone you can just get the Google app right there in the top right corner, hit the little icon for Google Lens, take a picture of it, it'll search it, you'll find it. I've been using this for listing like McFarlane statues and stuff that we didn't know what they were from, or old figures, stuff like that. It's so much better. I used to spend hours researching. Now, technology is amazing. So you guys probably all knew that, but if you didn't, you heard it here. You got to be using it. Okay, now this Drax minifigure is a really good one with the blue legs. I've seen solds on this one for 40 bucks. Now he has like 2 knives and a back accessory that we might have, and that would put it up to like 50 bucks. I only knew that one was to look for because when I was looking this one up, this came up. I organized by highest sold. So we've got 3 figures in that 40 plus range already, just right there. I think this one would qualify as well. All of these, I think, the big ones are all going to be at least 20 plus. Haven't looked into them too closely yet. Obviously, some great value there. And then I still have all these. So there's just so many, and a lot of these I won't know the names of, especially ones that are just from Ninjago and, you know, Lego exclusive brands and IPs. All right, I took this figure apart. Recognize her from Thor Ragnarok, I believe. I just wanted to mention again the importance of them being authentic. So the top of the neck is going to say Lego on it. Every Lego piece says Lego somewhere. Top of the head says Lego in there. Might be hard to show up. And then like the mask here, there you go, Lego again. So a lot of these figures are going to be faked. And I want to attach a screenshot of this one, the Google Lens search that I did. First one I tried with Google Lens, and this goes for about 35 bucks. Came up with multiple options. Then I just went over to eBay, searched it to confirm sold prices, and in this condition, 35 bucks. There are some accessories and weapons that would increase the value if I find them. But that's a great find right there and was quick and easy. I'm going to try a couple of these over here and see if these like more random ones are easily findable on Google Lens, and I'll get back with you guys. The value, not very good. So about $5, maybe 5 to 7, 5 to 6. And selling individually, like with free shipping, I wouldn't do that myself. So these ones I would consider laudable. I'm going to assume that a rule of thumb is going to be that like Marvel figures, Star Wars figures, on average are going to be worth much more than random Lego properties, because that's seeming to be absolutely true so far. Still to be confirmed, but I'm going to say that's probably a pretty good rule of thumb to look for. The results are in, and in my opinion, this is the most important clip of this video if you're interested at all in reselling Legos ever in your journey. We have done so much work. Matt, we're estimating probably 14 hours.
Yep.
Something like that. He's on the camera, and then for me, probably about 3 hours. And the job is as done as we want it to be. There's going to be a few more hours of actually selling them, but we have processed through the collection. I have tips from experts. I asked people in the Discord, shout out to Jporium and Joshinator, and then on Facebook, a viewer named Brian gave some really helpful insights. And there's some consistent themes that I want to give to you guys. So we're going to start with those, and then we're going to get to a value breakdown and whether or not it was worth our time. So Lego tips from experts. Star Wars is the best. Everybody agreed, on average, Star Wars is the best. There appeared to be Star Wars figures a lot in one of the bins, and I was hoping that we would find some special stuff. we really didn't find hardly any Star Wars in here, so that was a bummer. But for Star Wars, there's low print figures like Luke and Darth Maul that didn't really get reprints. So that's kind of a key thing. If you're finding figures that are 10 plus years old that haven't got reprints, those are going to be very desirable and have some good value to them. Something that I didn't know, but it makes sense. Cracks and condition really matter. Bite marks, stuff like that, in minifigures especially. So if they're not cracked or don't have any bite marks or anything like that, apparently it's very much worth noting that the condition is really good, no cracks, no bite marks. So we're definitely going to do that, especially on our more expensive figures. Lego City figures tend to be the least valuable, construction workers, all that kind of stuff. Bricklink is a good resource. Google Lens comes in clutch. Everybody seems to use this, especially if you don't know the names of the figures. Selling in lots makes sense if your main business isn't Lego. I heard this from 2 of the 3 experts. They have spent a lot of time going through stuff, and they say, yeah, it's probably not worth your time. We'll see if they're right in this case. Unique pieces like foliage, base plates, that type of stuff sell for more than bulk. So that's what we have here is base plates. I don't know if we separated all the foliage, but that's like this right here. Trees, stuff that makes that type of thing. In our lot, we mostly have Marvel, superheroes, and Ninjago. That ended up being the bulk of it, which is pretty good because we don't have a lot of Lego City, and Marvel is a little bit better. But bulk often sells, so this is the bulk, in 1 to 2 gallon bags. That's a pretty common way that it's sold, and we'll probably do that on eBay, or we'll just sell it in one big lot. Not sure yet. And then these, I wasn't sure how to separate, but these are all partially built sets. We had a lot of those, and I feel like that's a little bit better than bulk, since you can see that they're almost complete sets. Now let's get to the breakdown. So the experts seem to estimate that if we were not to take the time and work to piece it out, we probably could have gotten $500 to $700 in like a Facebook Lego group locally or something like that. But we did the work, about I believe it was 17 hours worth. We got all the figures separated. So here's bags of 50. Now a lot of these are zombied together because the heads and stuff were like separated on a lot of them. But we got 350 figures that have a head, torso, and legs. And these are the ones that are worth $10 or more. There's 50 of them here. So these are all $10. So rule of thumb for us is, and this is also the main thing, is they're really not worth looking up if they're not like figures that you know. So if they're not Star Wars, Marvel, DC, something that you can easily look up, you know the name of, much less likely to be valuable unless they're older. In this case, we didn't really have anything older than 10 years, so it wasn't really worth looking up every single one of the other 300 figures here. That would have been... We didn't do that. We only looked up the key figures. $15 figures here. We got 4 of them. Loki is one of those. Captain America. You can see Star Wars stuff is there. Is this another row of 15?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are also 15. More Iron Mans. You got Flash, Guardians figures, Ant-Man. So you can see mostly it's all the Marvels. And then there's so many different variations of Iron Man we found out. So these are the $20 figures. 25, we had one. 30. Shout out to Jay Porium for pointing out this is a Mark 46 Iron Man. This is a special version of his costume that goes for more. So there's 5 30s. Drax, I would say 30 is conservative on him. And then 35, the Spider-Man, we pointed that one out. Hela from Thor. This was one that you found. Is this Quicksilver?
Yep.
Quicksilver, $40. Well, that's a good one to look for. And then we did find the weapons for Yondu, and that puts him in the $50 range. This one's 40. All the bigs, always, those are going to be good, 20 or more on all of those. The value right here is $1,000, retail value. So that's pretty awesome. And then we have 300 bulk figures. I'm going to try to start the bid at $100 per baggie of 50 figures, and we're going to include all of the accessories and like extra weapons and stuff. So I think this is going to put it over the edge. You know, if you include another 30 of these just random weapons, I feel like people that are into Legos are really going to be into that. And then they'll get pets, you know, well, we might do one big animal lot or something. All in all, valuing the lots at $100 per lot, there's 6 lots. So $600 there. $1,000 on those nicer minifigures that we'll probably individually list. Trade, we might do some other things with those. And then I'm going to say in bulk, plus these, probably another $300 conservatively. So that puts it at $1,900 in value. So the disparity, and we'll factor out, let's say $200 in fees and in price reductions or whatever. So $1,700. If we could have gotten on the higher end of the prediction of selling them off in bulk for $700, there's a $1,000 difference. It took us 16 hours to get to that $1,000 difference. Is that worth it? Yes, I would say that's worth it. The only thing that I would argue is it's not worth it is the opportunity cost of what Matt could have been doing. We have those shelves full of thousands of games that he could have been selling, and his hourly rate probably would have been even higher. That being said, it's kind of a win-win. This would absolutely not be worth it if there weren't a ton of minifigures in these Legos. The fact that there's 350 minifigures is the sole reason that this is worth it, and the fact that we could see them as we shuffled through, that's what made me want to go through these, and it was the hope that there'd be really good Star Wars stuff. That didn't pan out, but even still, it's crazy to say that this $90 Lego collection might be worth $1,700 after fees. Crazy amount of work, crazy amount of sorting. This was our experience. Let me know how your experience has been. Hit the like button. This video took a lot of work, time, and effort. So I hope you guys liked it. If you want more deep dives into other things, let us know what you want us to deep dive into. We would love to consider doing videos on those, and we'll see you guys next time.